This is David Fortier with Talking Bristol, and tonight we have a special guest. We have a descendant of the first family of Bristol. We have Juliet Norton with us. Hi, Juliet.
Hello.
And I just wanted to, and we're going to talk about an exhibit that's coming up at Lake Compounds. It has to do with the history of Lake Compounds, and of course, it's tied into her family, your family.
Yes.
So along those lines, I wanted to mention to our listeners and our viewers that if you like what we're doing here, remember to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Sign up for and subscribe to our newsletter. We are a free online newspaper that covers Bristol exclusively. We're nonprofit. There's no paywall. So if you are looking for Bristol news, make sure you go to bristoledition.org. We also have on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel a bunch of these our videos, which are, they've gotten a variety of subjects we've covered in town. You'd have to kind of skip through. They're not labeled the greatest, but we have lots of things there for people's viewing. So, and tonight we will be adding this to that collection. And aren't you fortunate? So, Juliet, Lake Compounds. I mean, everyone's got their Lake Compounds story.
Mm-hmm.
And so you not just you didn't grow up there. I mean, you grew up there.
I literally grew up there.
Right. That
was my babysitter in the summer.
Absolutely. I was
my daycare.
Yeah, I was one of those. I'm sure those kids that you wanted to run off the property.
Lake Avenue kid.
Lake
right?
Avenue kid.
Yeah.
That's right. You got it. So we found our way around.
You're gonna
there
love
all
my
the time.
story.
I can't wait to hear the story. But there was in the summertime, Jack Dennehy and his wife Carol took care of the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was around.
I worked with him. I worked the snack stand.
And we had kind of a deal. Jack knew young kids, and he knew that if he got us engaged, that we would have our jobs to do, and we would take care of the place. We would be invested. So I used to rake the beach, and every spring I used to go out and I used to put out the raft.
Right.
And what that meant is going out on the rowboat with Mr. Dennehy, Jack Dennehy, guiding the boat, and then I would have to dive down 20 feet or so with the cord and attach the cord
to the
cement block that was down there, right? And the cold spring water. I mean, the water was always refreshing.
Yes.
It would take my breath away, and it would be like a shock. But it was something I looked forward to, and it was something that was kind of like.
Do you ever get a glimpse at the giant fish down there?
Sure. yeah. I mean, the apocryphal fish, yes. But I want to go back a little bit further. My father was a lifeguard there at a time when he would get there in the morning and he would swim the lake back and forth.
I think pretty much every family has at least one person who has worked at Lake Compounds.
And my kids worked there too in later iterations. My son was a lifeguard. My daughter worked over at the crock pot and other things like that. And they will swear to this day that the lake is haunted, but we can get into that. Okay.
It's just spooky because it had a lot of trees and the shadow of the mountain on it. And all.
Yeah, it was pretty terrific. Yeah. So those are little stories I have, but you grew up there. So you have this exhibit that's coming up, and we want to learn a little bit about that and who can see it and how is it available and all that kind of thing. But you tell me a story.
Oh, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Yeah.
Gosh, it was just. I'll tell you, my generation, really a little bit older because I was pretty young still. I was the baby.
That's my generation.
But we're talking like the 70s, mid 70s, early 80s, when our direct family was really running things. It was great because I was a floater sometimes. Like I talk about a jack of all trades learning when you were learning how to work.
Yes.
So I've done everything from fried dough to popcorn to running the carousel to the bumper cars to the,
Did you do
and
the French
beach.
fries? Did you do the French fries?
I was a lifeguard.
Oh, yeah.
I did everything. So skee ball. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mini golf, all of it.
Yeah. Oh.
You just kind of went and relieved them at lunch breaks and stuff or dinner breaks. I would when I was of somewhat legal age to work, because when it's a family business, you kind of get away with a little bit. But I would go down, open up the beach, and work the snack bar all day, and then and then go to work in the sands at night. So it was like 9 in the morning to like 2 in the morning. Like it was just,
Yeah.
you were just always there.
They're
But
always there. Yeah.
it was just amazing because everybody, it was cool because a lot of the employees would come back year after year. So it became like your second family.
Hmm.
So it was really neat to, you just were down there all the time and it didn't feel, and then we would socialize off hours. We played softball. We had parties, lots of parties. We,
Yeah. Wow.
we played ultimate frisbee in the Eastern parking lot. I mean, we really enjoyed each other's company.
So, and for people today who go to Lake Compounds, it's owned by another concern. Several concerns after your family owned it,
Yes.
because the family. When did they actually part with the park?
Well, we I guess like 85-ish,
85, right,
84, 85. And that's when Barbarino and Balistreri
Mhm.
and all, they kind of came in and they did the concerts for a couple years.
Mhm.
And
they brought in some big names. It was a
oh,
big
you know what?
venue.
Hershey was first. My apologies.
Hershey, yes.
Hershey
yes, I
came
do
in
remember
first.
Hershey, yeah.
And they made all kinds of changes.
Yeah.
But then they were gone within like a year or two.
Yeah, it happened really fast.
They really didn't stick around. And that's when I think Barbarino and
Yeah.
They came in and tried to do stuff for a couple years, and that kind of fell apart. And then
But people
Kenny
were trying,
Wood came
yeah.
in.
Well, people saw
Yeah.
they saw that it was worthwhile.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
came in.
really, I mean, we just did not want. We wanted it to remain what it was, a family amusement park. We didn't want it being sold for houses and development and stuff like that. I mean,
And
it was just too pretty an area.
I thank you for that. It's a treasure.
It was
and
a
I'm thrilled that
struggle,
it's
but
here
we
in
really
Bristol, yeah.
tried to keep it going. Yeah.
And even afterwards, you did stay. You were involved with some of the decision making and kind of guiding people. And
They were good to my dad. They would let him come down as a consultant. And it was cool. And he still got to hobnob with some of the celebrities when they came. And I mean, he loved all that.
he did.
Yeah.
And your dad, Stretch Norton, he was a mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Councilman. He was kind of like woven into the fabric of the town, as was your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was terrific. And we will talk too about the fact that it was your family that actually started the park in the year 18. Was it 58?
What do you test?
1846. 46, yes.
Yeah.
And it does have, it is called the oldest continuously operated.
Yes. In the country.
In the country.
Yes.
Yes. And people
very proud of that.
That's, and you should be proud of it. I think this is the 180th year this year.
I believe so.
Is the anniversary.
Yeah.
And it's owned by another concern this year, and they're doing another terrific job by keeping things going.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited by this because it's the people who own Dollywood. Mm-hmm. So they're known for embracing traditions and more old-fashioned things and stuff like that. And I really felt that got lost with the last Spanish company. I mean, they just didn't connect with the community. They didn't connect with the history and all that kind of stuff. So these guys appear to be very open to going back to more traditional stuff, which I'm very appreciative to. And I hope to meet with them soon.
Awesome. That's terrific.
I'm pretty sure they're coming to the event. So
right. So now the event. Okay. Now, so the history, we can talk, I mean, a little bit about the history and how it started. I'm sure people in Bristol are well versed in how that happened, but maybe there are a few people around who aren't well versed. They might not. So it'd be good to cover the territory. But let's talk a little bit about the actual event.
Okay.
So it's going to be held.
It's July 2nd is opening night from 5 to 8. And then it's going to be up for people to go to until October 25th.
Okay. And where exactly is it?
It's at the New England Carousel Museum.
Okay. And that's on Riverside Avenue here in Bristol.
Yep.
Is there a fee for people to?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So when they go, I want people to be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there'll be a fee.
I mean, it's a museum. Yeah.
Right.
There's probably, I'm sorry, I did not find out how much, but.
Yeah. Well, that should have been my job. These are conversations, it's like, and so it's going to be at the Carousel Museum starting July 2nd. And is it, how much of the museum does it take up? We have
a fairly decent size. It's kind of about 2 rooms, so to speak. Yeah.
And it's a natural because you have the carousel at Lake Compounds.
Yes. So,
I mean, that kind of makes sense, but there's also the history. So So you said there were some.
They have one really old Lake Compounce horse.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of rough. It's in the picture of the ad.
Yeah.
So that'll be there, of course.
So of all the rides at Lake Compounce, I mean, the merry-go-round was terrific. It was center and everything else, but I have like motion sickness. So
going in circles, not your thing.
Is not my thing.
Up and down and in circles.
I could, and it was not my thing. I mean, I love the music. I could go on the Wildcat, and there was one night that I went on the Wildcat 29 consecutive times. It was
wow.
It was a great ride, and then they fixed it up very nice. It's very smooth right now. If people have been there, it's the best 48 seconds you're going to spend in your life. I think it's. I mean, you have. What's the? I can't think of the what's the wooden coaster right now?
Wildcat? Boulder Dash.
The Boulder Dash, which is terrific. That is, but that last little stretch for there, you gotta be ready for that. That's a workout.
The Boulder Dash on its own has records. It's like one of the best wooden roller coasters in the country or something. It's up there
in the world. For maybe almost a dozen years. And you know how fast the technology changes. But so it's and they've been replacing track on that too. It's a terrific ride.
Okay.
And what's the other one now? Now there's one that does the flip that only goes like 20 seconds. It's Psycho. It's can't think of what it is, but that's another one that's just. I love roller coasters. I love roller coasters. So, but the merry-go-round was rough. Well, it was rough, but.
To me, the hard part was the music was just if you work the merry-go-round for hours, like that stuff was going through your brain. But absolutely. It was like the heart of our little
right in the middle.
Right in the middle. It literally was like the heart of and so pretty much wherever you were, you heard like a little bit of
that's right.
The music, the Wurlitzer going.
Right. So and it's different now because the parking lot was in front of the
roller coaster. Yeah,
right there. And then you had the picnic areas.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there. And
you literally just would go for the whole day. I mean,
that's right.
You had picnic and you ate and you went on rides and you went swimming and yeah. And we had constant events. Like companies actually used to bring for like a field day, like a fun day, mm-hmm. So bus loads of people would just from companies and stuff would come down and have their outings and schools and
And then you had your shows. You had Colonel Clown.
Yeah, Colonel Clown did a talent show.
Yep.
So that was cool. You had all the local
in the caravan.
Oh yeah, and then the regular in-house band was Slim Cox and the Cowboy Caravan. Yep.
Yeah. And there was also I remember.
And then we would have guests, of course.
Yes,
guests
like.
You caught me off guard. Who's the little guy?
What do you think of that? And I'm thinking of at different times Count Basie played there.
Oh, you're talking about up in the ballroom now.
Up in the ballroom now, yeah.
I meant on the stage in front, we'd have different country
stars
and stuff. Yeah.
I have to think of who that was, yeah. But there were other shows too. Not just Colonel Clown. Were there any ones?
Well, like Channel 8, Channel 30, like all of them would come and do these events too. Yeah. So they were kind of like talent contests, or they would have beauty pageants, or they would have.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, like Miss Channel 30. I don't know if you remember those.
Right. And the stage was down, where the mini golf course was, over to the side there, facing the water.
It was perfect because it was covered. There were trees everywhere.
Yeah.
So you weren't hot in the sun. You were sitting on benches. You had the breeze from the lake coming up. And right behind you was the casino. So if you wanted to go inside, get a pitcher of beer,
and oftentimes
some chicken in the basket, and you were set. And and that was also another thing is the parents or the grandparents, they could just spend all day there, and the kids just ran out in the park and
they
did whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah. I mean, many a night I was there with my mom and dad, and we were there, and even our friends were there, and we'd get something to eat. They'd get a pitcher of beer.
Mm-hmm.
We get our little pitcher of Coca-Cola. Felt like we were big shots, and it was a great night. Then we run off and play. Was it skee ball? Get the tickets. Oh boy, yeah.
I actually tried to. Well, both my dad and Danny juggled. And I used to always be jealous of that. And like sometimes it would be slow and stuff like that. And I wanted to learn how to juggle. And if I was working skee ball, I would try with those big wooden balls to learn how to.
Yeah, they were.
And it was kind of like painful because, if you miss, you're like.
Right, exactly. That was going to happen. Absolutely.
But it was good practice.
And we had, I mean, it's so much fun. Simple kind of game. Just, but there was a skill involved with it. And you always were competing with people who were next to you, and you always got your tickets.
Oh, and you always were like, oh, I've got the secret. It's this angle. It's this corner to get the 100.
You bounce it off you bounce it off the right-hand side if you're right. Yeah. And you make it kind of like, and it would roll around and you do all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then of course you had the paddle boat, the show boat that went out.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you had the train would go. Like castle train used to go all the way around the lake, and that was a really nice trip.
It was so relaxing.
It was absolutely the best.
And that was another beauty of this park, was that it appealed to all ages. You had a kiddie land, and then you had stuff that the older people would do too. Yeah. It wasn't just for younger, young kids, whatever.
And absolutely beautiful, you would say. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And it is beautiful now. I'm not saying it's not now. It's different now, and grateful that it's kind of like kind of evolved the way it has, because it is a go-to right now. They've got all kinds of things there right now, including a campsite if you wanted to spend time there.
Yeah.
And then
they have
the
a whole
water
campground now.
The water park's out there because they have to compete with other water parks. It's a good deal. So, more about the history. And the exhibit and the show. I mean, you said there were some surprises. What would be one of the things that people would look for when they went to the exhibit?
Well, what I'm involved in is my era stuff. Well, I shouldn't say that because I have all the eras. But pre-Hershey, shall we say, is more the stuff I've concentrated on. So it's actually okay. So you ready for how this all started?
I'm sitting down. Right. Ready? Yeah.
Somebody from the Carousel Museum knew about this guy who worked on the Laugh in the Dark, like when he was younger. Found out about him being a painter, and he used to work with our other crew there. And so he he was sorry. He was a kid who used to go there all the time and hang out all the time, and he's like a Lake Avenue kid.
Mm-hmm. Do I know this kid?
Maybe not. I don't know. Chuck Burnham?
No.
Charlie Burnham? No. Because his family kind of moved a little farther away, but he would still bike down like all the time and go there. And he fell in love with the Laugh in the Dark. It was like a love-hate thing because it scared him, but he also just loved it. So every time, any chance he had, he would go down there. His grandparents would take him, or his parents, or whatever. And he was just really became obsessed with it. So when it got taken down because there was like a fire or stuff like that, he was able, as a teenager at this point, to go back and salvage some of the stuff from it before it disappeared. And so he grabbed a few things, and then there was like another amusement park place that grabbed some stuff. People were just kind of taking whatever they could.
Oh, just a fun fact: my dad actually worked there when he did lifeguarding, but he also, like you said, he would float to different areas, and he also ran the Laugh in the Dark. Yes.
Okay. All right. So years go by, and he was, over the years, he's kind of collected from these other people who took stuff. So he's got several pieces that have survived all this time. He's just carted it around with him wherever he lived.
That's terrific.
I know, it's great. So somebody from the Carousel Museum somehow got hold of him, which is amazing because he's been traveling around so much. But I don't know, they did some research and tracked him down and said, we wanted to do a special event at the museum honoring Lake Compounce. Do you have anything? You got anything you can share with us? And he was like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this for like 40 years. He was so excited. So he's like, yes, I have some original Laugh in the Dark stuff. And I have, he managed to get a Ferris wheel bucket seat.
Wow.
So he had that. I'm so excited about that one. Yes. And he's got the black Wildcat Panther that was on top of the roller coaster for a little while. He's got like this clown, this creepy clown thing that I think was in
clowns
the
are
Laugh in the
creepy.
Dark. Yeah. And bits and pieces.
Oh,
So
wow.
um he got like one of the carts from the Laugh in the Dark.
Yeah.
You remember the big
Right.
old red cart and stuff?
Yes.
And
I've been
the
in those
ticket
carts,
box
yeah.
and some of the track and all that kind of stuff. So he's like, yes. And so then he gets on Facebook and starts posting to all the Bristol Talks and, you know, the 70s page and all that kind of stuff. Like, hey, does anybody happen to have any pictures of lake compounds? And I'm like, hello, you know? So we kind of hooked up through Facebook, and it was just kind of casual. Just, you know, I'm especially, you know, want Laugh in the Dark stuff. So I just started looking and going through. And surprisingly, it's very hard to find any pictures from that era.
I'm surprised by that. Yeah.
Even of the old stuff, this from the 60s, because the facade, the painting like right against the wall there, it's changed over the years.
Yeah.
Like every 10, 15 years, it would change. It was like weird big head clown guys, and then it was, you know, monsters, and then it was like some other stuff. So he was looking for the monster era because that's the era he remembers. Yeah. So we just like started up this, you know, I was sending him a million pictures, and it just kind of started our friendship. So
yeah.
So he's in North Carolina right now.
Wow.
He's been working on. He actually made this a living. He went around to. He goes around. He still does it. He's like a renovator, like a historic, and he paints the rides, and he fixes them.
Yeah.
And he builds haunted house things, and I mean, he's just totally.
That's terrific.
Totally into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love people who do things like that.
Very creative life.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're committed, and they bring joy. I mean, this person is he's able to do that.
And memories and it turns out just like there's roller coaster enthusiasts, and there's merry-go-round people, you know, there's like those little clubs everywhere. There's actually a dark ride group. So the Laugh in the Dark is considered a dark ride.
Yeah.
That's the category it's in. So so he's got a following.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty
I'm going to have
famous.
to look him up. I'm going to have to talk with him. We need to get him on Bristol Edition.
Yeah.
That is just terrific. And so
okay, so so he's been, now that it's, you know, this was like, in a few months he's got this opportunity. So he's now for the last few months been working his butt off, like fixing it up and trying to rebuild it and paint what needed to be painted and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So he's working on it while he's continuing his other jobs, you know, so, but then he's bringing it all up here for the show.
Wow. That is just great. Yeah. And the people at the Carousel Museum are going to welcome him, and they're going to host this, and they're going to use their space, which is for a Bristol show. So people who are from Bristol can go there, and you know, and they're going to have their memories, and they're going to share. And then people who've just come to Bristol and know lake compounds now might want to go there and find out what things were there before. Yeah, I do think, you know, I'm a little bit older than you are, so I do remember, you know, the ballroom upstairs, and I remember some of the bands that went through, and I do remember Count Basie, who I'm a geeky kind of kid too, so I had to find out who this person was, and I had to listen to his music, and he's one of my favorites now.
Count Basie?
Count Basie.
Okay.
Yeah, so I will listen to Count Basie. You know, I think it's he's there was St. Louis blues, and then there's other iterations of the jazz and the swing and things like that.
Yeah, I love swing. I love big band,
because I think it's in my bones because of being down there, and you know, on a night when there's a little bit of a breeze, you know, the sun is kind of going down, and you can hear the music wafting out over you when you're there. And as a kid, it has an impact on you.
Yeah,
it just becomes like this is a place. This is where things. This
it's an experience.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I want to read a poem. So this is a poem, The Background of Lake Compounds, which doesn't come in until the very end, and it brings in the Starlight Ballroom. Okay. So this is and my parents, you know, they spent a lot of time at lake compounds. My wife's parents met at lake compounds. I mean, there's so many people who met at lake compounds, and it was the place. It was the place. And so, so this is against the background of I'm in high school, and we're waiting for friends to pick us up, and my parents decide to dance. So this is it. I knew my parents were in love. I always get the clamps when I read this, but I knew my parents were in love the night 3 high school friends and I watched them dance while we waited for our ride. We helped move the furniture against the walls and sank down on the sofa, shrugging to each other. The second-hand turntable played a Frank Sinatra LP that riddled with scratches, fizzled and popped. The LP spun and they danced. My father snapped his fingers, and my mother spun around and wound up back in his arms, as if she had never left and was meant to be there always. And again, he sent her away with a flick of his wrist and caught her again as she spun around and wound up back in his arms. When he flipped her over his back, we yelled again. And when our ride arrived, we stayed. You have got to see this. Then there was no stopping. Over his back and through his legs, around and back in his arms as we screamed more. And the needle began to skip, and he plopped in the soft chair, and she sat in his lap. And then we knew something we hadn't before. And someone said, we better get going. And the rest of us answered, yeah, we should, without really knowing why, except that we knew it was time to go, as my parents smiled, exhausted and youthful and fun, the way they must have been once a long time ago, when she was a princess and he the prince who won her heart in a ballroom with the stars above them and the future bright before them, and hope a full orchestra playing their song, so that when everyone would stop to watch them, as fair and as easy as youth, and easy and fair as love.
Wow, he's a good dancer, huh?
He was a good dancer, but that was the background of the ballroom and the, and the band shell with the stars. And as a kid, it was like we snuck up there to have to go see it. But it was a magical place.
Yeah.
And that's how I remember the lake all the way through.
I'm hoping they're going to utilize it more. It needs the life in it. I like it.
Yeah.
I think that it should have dances and reunions and all kinds of stuff in there. It's a good spot.
And the bands that came through there were pretty terrific.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandfather was he really loved the big band stuff.
Yeah.
And he even became friends with like Glenn Miller and some of these
Tommy
Dorsey's and all that. I mean,
young Frank Sinatra came through.
Yeah, but briefly.
But
he was there. Ella Fitzgerald. I mean,
wow, didn't know that.
All kinds of amazing musicians, like the drummers and the clarinets.
Gene
and
Krupa.
Gene Krupa.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the history and how the family went back. It goes all the way back to the late 1800s or mid 1800s. Yes, pre Civil War.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was our farmland,
mm-hmm.
We had like some cottages and stuff around the lake, so because there's no air conditioning and stuff back then, so people would sometimes, relatives and stuff would come down and they'd vacation at the lake because it was nice and cool there in the shadow of the mountain and all that kind of stuff. Nice fresh lake, like you said, fresh water and all that
nice
stuff.
Spring-fed lake, yeah.
Yeah. So now I have to verify this, but I just heard something that the Samuel Botsford guy who wanted to do the experiment with the blowing up
yes,
of stuff,
right, exactly, yes.
I think he was related to us.
Oh.
I'm not sure. He might have been like a cousin of some kind, and that's why he had permission to come down and do what he did.
Right.
He wasn't just some rando.
And that's what drew the crowds.
Well, yeah, word got
said,
around
"Hey."
that there's something going on down there.
Yeah.
So, people just started wandering down and brought picnics, and he did a series of different experiments, and they all went fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he went to do the final one, the explosion one, he had a problem with that.
Yeah. But that already changed the course of history.
Well, yeah. So my great-great-grandfather or whatever was like, look at all these people that came down, and this is a great, maybe we should let them start picnicking here, and we'll get some rowboats and we'll get some canoes and some, maybe have a little music going, and, then people just kept coming back on the weekends for more. So
And he kept adding.
Yeah, and he would just keep adding
Yeah,
and
yeah.
adding stuff. Yep.
That's terrific. Yeah, and that was Gad Norton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So farmland, and then we have the whole issue with Southington and the taxes and the carve out, and then the Crocodile Club,
Mm.
which is it's a fun event, and people keep trying to bring that back, and it was
I mean, that goes to show how times have changed. I mean, that's so sweet that it's Lake Compounds is it was kind of more in Southington originally, but my grandfather's house was in the Bristol zone, like just over the border in Bristol, and downtown Bristol was very close. Considering going to downtown Southington
Right,
was
yeah.
a lot longer, and this is horse and carriage days, right? So. He was able with the local township, whoever was running things, to kind of just change the property line just a little bit, so that he could, do downtown Bristol and support them with taxes and all that kind of stuff. It was just easier. So as a thank you, he threw the big roast, the big sheep roast for him, and area businesses, and just kind of, it was just like a way for everyone to talk and meet, and, it was like a business thing. It was all men, of course, starting out. So, and then it was just, they went down and they would, eat and swim and ride the rides. And it was like a whole day event. It was a special event. And that just became a tradition and became like the oldest supper club or whatever you call it. Also, I mean, we have a lot of records.
Yeah, it's terrific. And those are things I guess we can bring up because our time is getting short here. But if there's anything you wanted to add as we close and wind up.
Well, I think that it'll be fun. Yeah, it'd be fun to come to check out the museum stuff because you got everything from the beginnings to, Hershey to all kinds of stuff. I mean, the other people at the museum are doing post, Hershey and post. I'm not a part of that because I don't really have any of that memorabilia.
But you are let's say the family historian, archivist, keeper of the flame.
Oh, there's other people out there with the better memories. I guess. My brother Johnny was really good with all that. He had all the dates and the stories and the details and stuff like that. And I would just be entertained by the stories and I wouldn't like memorize them.
Yeah. But you lived it. You lived it though. So that makes a difference. Yes. And there's terrific stories. And I know our readers, if you have, our listeners, our viewers, if you have any memories, send them over. We'd love to share them.
Well, it's getting tight for time, but I mean, they were hoping to do a series of interviews, like short little, like people telling stories that they could run at the museum. But I don't know if they're going to have much time to do it before the exhibit opens at this point. But they're going to try. They're going to try and have a few. Yeah.
And you could also share things with us here. We would be happy to do that. And I think there's other venues out there that are happy to share Bristol memorabilia and things like that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. If anyone has pictures of the Laugh in the Dark, please let me know.
Yeah.
Because I've been searching for days and hours and weeks, and it's hard.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. My father tells stories about being in Laugh in the Dark different times, and he used to have a feather, and if people came by, he would just and they would go crazy.
I love that.
It was so dark. So he made fun.
They all did that too. That's the funny thing. All the people, I mean, it was just too easy. It was just too fun to just like go in there and scare people.
Yeah.
And
if I remember even on Bristol Edition, one of our volunteers, Jack Rampants, I believe his dad did some moonlighting over at Lake Compounds. And I know Bob Pallotti from he's an acquaintance of mine. He did the French fries. So everybody, like you said, did a little bit of something over there at different times. That in mind, we have at the Bristol Edition, we have a poetry challenge. So our poetry challenge for July is poems about Lake Compounds.
Ooh.
So yes, that's a coincidence because before I even found out about what you're doing over at what the Carousel Museum is doing, we thought that would be kind of a terrific thing to do. So if people have their poetry, you can send it to editor@bristoledition.org and just in the subject line write July Poetry Challenge or Lake Compounds. In the same respect, we have another challenge where we're looking for essays. People who have memories of Bristol during our America 250 celebration. So about your family coming here, what they find in Bristol. Have they been here a long time? Are they new? What kind of difference has Bristol made in their lives? So that's something you could also send in, and that's for the essay challenge. And you send that at editor@bristoledition.org. So we're looking for some community engagement and to feature some people from Bristol and their work. So please send that over. And at the same time, like I said, if you like what we're doing here, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You could subscribe to our email newsletter, which you would get. You would get an email every day, just alerting you to the latest posts that we have online. There's no paywall; it's free. But if you would like to donate to us, that's how we keep this operation going. We do pay people on who are contractors right now. I don't get paid. I don't ask for anything to get paid. I think this is a labor of love, but I think Bristol deserves and needs a really good newspaper. And we are
radio station.
And radio station, right? Yeah, we have to talk about that too. Yeah, well, you make a plug for yourself. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I love all kinds of music, and I ended up working. I volunteer Friday nights. I have a show at WAPJ in Torrington. It's wapj.org. Friday nights from 6 to 9, I do a whole series of music. It's all different all the time. So,
right. So it's just another example of Bristol people doing some great things.
Yeah.
So that's it. So we think as a city of 60,000, there's lots going on here, lots happening, and people should know about that. And we need a really good local connection, which is our newspaper, which is bristoledition.org. So if you would like to donate to that, you hit the donate button at the bottom of any one of our stories. And we make sure the money goes back into our community, the people who live here, who play here, and who work here.
Yes.
That's what we do. So with that in mind, I'd like to say thank you. So long.
Keep an eye. There's going to be some good stuff coming to Bristol. I'm working on it.
All right. That's excellent. Great. Thanks so much. This is day 40.
On April 29, 2026, the Bristol edition received a sneak On April 29, 2026, the Bristol edition received a sneak preview inside Lake Compounds ahead